Hey guys, what's up? Ryan here with Top Notch Persona, and in today's video, I am giving you 5 picks for great date night fragrances. Now, there's a catch though. They're not my 5 picks, they're my wife's top picks. I figured, it would be a little more fun, switch it up a little bit, and get her input into these fragrances. So I just sat down in front of my collection and I said, hey, listen, which of these 5 fragrances would you find sexy on a guy if you were on a date? I should have said for me to wear on a date. That would have made sense, but I didn't put it that way. So she pulled out 5. You're going to notice a distinct pattern between them. I'm actually not surprised at all that she picked these ones. One of them's kind of an outlier, but it does make sense. All of these are fairly safe fragrances. They do have a more youthful, sexy vibe to them, definitely. But without further delay, I'll just get right into it with number 1. Let's go. First one she picked. Alright, this one's going to be no surprise to anybody. It is the king of clubbing fragrances, Versace Eros. Now, this stuff, I mean, you already know what it is with Eros. This is just the perfect clubbing fragrance, the perfect dating fragrance. This one is just super sexy, super safe. Women flock to this one. It's very youthful, very energetic. It has a Playboy-esque vibe. You know, you're there to have fun. You're there to party. You're not too serious. You're just looking to kind of casually date someone. So I personally, I think there's much better choices for an intimate kind of date. But I think that for a casual, a first date, something like that, I completely agree with my wife. Versace Eros, super sexy and a great choice for date night. Her next choice actually did surprise me a bit. She said at first Dior Homme. I went to grab the original. I was like, oh, I totally agree with that. She was like, no, the one that you got for me. So I was like, oh, alright, I know which one that is. The one she's talking about is Dior Homme Cologne. Now this stuff, super simple fragrance. There's only 3 notes in this. It's very easy to wear, very simple, very fun. It's a great fragrance, great choice for, the summer, especially for like a date in the warmer weather, just going out and kind of, it's more intimate, I would say, than Eros. It's definitely not loud enough to be a clubbing fragrance, but it still is a great one, and the simplicity of the fragrance makes it a great choice for a date, especially if it's a first date or a more casual date, because this one isn't going to offend anyone. This one is going to be enjoyed by whomever you're dating, and it might lead to them asking about it, and you can get into a discussion about the Dior Homme line. I mean, I totally would do that if I was still dating. Number 3 kind of surprised me as well, because it's just such a basic scent that I definitely wouldn't put it on my personal top picks for going out on a date, but she thinks it would be a great one, probably because of the simplicity. So the one I'm talking about is Ralph Lauren Polo Blue Eau de Parfum. Now this stuff in my review, I said this smells like laundry detergent. Actually, she's the one that said that first, and then I took that from her. But it absolutely does. It's just a really safe, really pleasant blue fragrance. I mean, there is nothing profound about this one, but I think that's what makes it, or would make it, a great choice for a date, because it's just simple, it's just natural, it's just whomever you're dating isn't going to question this one. She'll probably, or whoever will probably recognize this, even like say, oh, is that Ralph Lauren, or oh, is that Polo, because it is just such a well-known, recognizable scent. She might even ask if you're wearing like Tide detergent. No, probably not. But the fact of the matter is, because it's so basic, it's so simple, it would actually make a really good choice for date night. Number 4 on her list is actually one that I do agree with, or I agree with for the line, but I think a better concentration would be for date night. So the one she picked was Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Now this is a great fragrance, great professional fragrance, very intimate, sits very close to the skin, which would make it a great choice for going out on a date, whether it's like a casual date, a first date, an intimate date, whatever. This one definitely would work. However, in my opinion, I think the Eau de Parfum would work a little bit better on a date, just because it's a little more lively. There's a little more kick to it, and in terms of projection, there's a little bit more of that as well. The only thing is I didn't have that bottle. I actually recently just bought one, so I can do an official review finally for you guys, but it isn't going to come in for another couple of days. But it would have been interesting to see which one she chose, the Parfum or the Eau de Parfum. But because I didn't have the latter, she went with the Parfum, and I have to say I do agree that Bleu de Chanel is a great choice for a date. Number 5 on the list is the Outlier. I saved the Outlier for the last. Now this one is still a pretty safe fragrance. It's an easy choice, an easy one to wear. But the difference is that this one is not citrus based. In fact, I believe there is no citrus or minimal citrus in this one, and I barely detect any of it. The one I'm talking about is a Givenchy Gentleman's Only Absolute. Now this stuff, if you recall when I was talking about it for my Fragrance Friday video, the Christmas Day actually, and I was just saying how this one is like the new Burberry London. You know, there's vanilla in this, there's woodsy notes. It's just a very pleasant winter fragrance. You know, it sits close to the skin, it lasts for a long time. It is just a great choice for the winter. And it's also a great choice for dates because it is such a pleasant, almost familiar scent. You know, you have the spices in here, you know, it's relaxing, it's calming, it just makes you want to kind of just cuddle up with the person. And, you know, on a more intimate date, I think this one would be great. For a casual date or a first date where, you know, you're probably not going to like touch or like, you know what I'm saying. I'm not sure if I would go with this one, you know, plus it doesn't project very much, so unless you were within intimate proximity of each other, the person might not even detect this one. So I think on like a first date you would want something that projects a little bit more, like Eros or Dior Homme Cologne. But for any other date, or, you know, whatever, any date, whether it's, you know, intimate, casual, first date, whatever, I think this would actually be a pretty great choice. Well, what do you guys think of my wife's top 5 picks? Is there any that you would change? Is there any that you completely agree with? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, if you haven't yet, give this one a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you stay up to date with everything I'm doing. Trust me, you want to. And guys, before you leave, remember, when you look and smell your best, you feel your best. And that's what matters.